Right, so, for the last couple weeks, I've sort of been on an unplugged vacation, and, I get back, and I turn on Twitter, and I see this hashtag. What the university? Waifu the up? What am I looking at here? And, so eventually I open up YouTube, and I see Doug Walker's WTFU video. I'm like, oh yeah, I'll look at that later. Go to my subscription box and it's everywhere. So I go back and I go to what I assume to be the authority on the matter, the good old Nostalgia Critic, and I watch his video and I get a gist of what's going on. And for those of you who haven't seen his video, see that first because I'm going to be making allusions to that. And frankly, his video is going to be the authority on the matter. But since everybody's giving their 2 cents, I figured I'd jump on the bandwagon. I don't usually like doing these videos, but, why not? Because this is a worthy cause. This is something that does need to get out there. This is something that does need to be talked about. And, I want to join the talk. I enjoyed his video. I think it's something that, really worked. The funny thing is that this is not a new issue, but it is getting worse. It's getting much, much worse. They're getting a lot of people who are abusing the system much more than it is now because it's getting easier to abuse. It's getting easier to abuse us, the content creators. And, they claim that they're protecting the people who are protecting their content, but they're not. They're not protecting us. They're protecting the ones with the money to pay the most lawyers. That's who they're protecting. They're not protecting the little guy, as it were. Now, before I get too deep into that, I want to go back to Doug Walker's video. I want to talk about there's one thing in his video that bothered me. Otherwise, the video is great, and really the thing that bothered me is more of a nitpick, but this does get on my nerves. It's not him. A lot of people do this. It's become normal, but it really starts pissing me off when people use the word Hollywood when they really mean the showbiz industry. And it sort of annoys me because they don't realize Hollywood is a city with people, very honest working people who live in it, and it's not fair to judge a corrupt system and label a corrupt system by the name of the city that not even the entire system is in, because even part of the system, he's talking about movies. Yes, Hollywood is typically the center of a lot of movies, but then he'll talk about TV. A good chunk of TV production is in New York. And then, frankly, I get most of my strikes from the music industry. And if I were to choose a city that's the center of the music industry, I'd probably choose something more like New Orleans than Hollywood. So I get sick and tired of people saying Hollywood when they mean the showbiz industry. And not even the entire showbiz industry, because there are people in show business, in movie production, in TV production, in music production, that genuinely do care about their work. It's the marketing and the lawyers. Those are the ones who are getting on our back. And yet we blame the people who are not only in the industry, but the people who are in the city next to the industry. And I just don't see that as fair. And so the part of the video that really irritated me especially was when he just showed a skyline, not even of Hollywood, of Los Angeles. The Los Angeles skyline, as if that's the seat of all evil. And that really, really annoys me because there's a lot of really honest people who live in my city. And I'm sick and tired of people blaming the city for an industrial problem, for something within the system, when they really mean that it's the marketing and legal department of the entertainment industry. They'll say, it's all of Hollywood. So the person who's working hard at an honest job, trying to pay for their family's way, but you live in Hollywood, so you're the seed of all evil. That really pisses me off, and I'm sick of it. And it was in Doug Walker's video, and he's not the only one who does that, either. A lot of other people do that. They say Hollywood when they really mean the legal and marketing departments of the entertainment industry. That is what they mean, and I'm sick of people blaming an entire city for a corrupt branch. And yes, it's a corrupt branch of an industry that, it has corrupt parts to it, yes. I'm not going to pretend it doesn't, and I'm not going to pretend that this isn't something we should speak out about, but understand who you're actually targeting. That's my thing. Understand who you're actually fighting against. You're not fighting against a city. You're fighting against a twisted industry that thinks it can get away with everything because they have a lot of money. And that's the thing. I've got a lot of strikes on my videos too. Hasbro, I think, makes money off of most of my videos. And I don't care. Well, but I should care. And that's sort of where I get into this. I realize I should care. And I don't because I didn't / don't. I haven't quite gotten myself to care as much as other people. There are people who live off of YouTube, and I understand this is a far more dire situation for them. I'm not one of them. I have my own job, and I have my own income, and I don't need to do this, obviously, since I have not been doing a lot lately, which I'll get to in an update video I'm going to do soon. But, so I don't need this financially. So when I see Hasbro taking money from my work, I sort of got into what my friend called a wife beater mentality. I felt I deserved it. I felt because, well, if there wasn't Hasbro, there wouldn't be My Little Pony, and I wouldn't have anything to comment on, so I wouldn't have production. And I'm sure that's the logistics that they use to charge me for my hours of work, my thought process, my voice, my OC. Admittedly, I didn't draw my OC, but it's still my OC. My thought process, my effort into editing the videos, they're making money off of. And somehow I was okay with that because I'd gotten a wife beater mentality about it. And there are a lot of other videos I've gotten bigger strikes on. There are videos that are banned in certain countries because I used music. And that bothers me a lot because I don't use a lot of music. I use like 30 seconds usually is the maximum I'll use of a song. And people will get me for that. And what usually irritates me the most, and this is where the system gets really, really corrupt, is that usually the person who claims the music is not the person who owns it. And those are the ones I've fought. I've fought those. And it doesn't do anything. I've stopped fighting them now. I don't bother. Because it doesn't do anything. It just, like, I'll fight it, and they'll reclaim it, and I'll fight it again, and nothing ever happens. And I always have so many videos that are claimed like this, and it never goes anywhere. And I can only I can only fight so many at a time, and then more and more, claims are coming in at me, and it's not worth it for me, because I am in the liberty of a position where I don't need to make money off of the video, so I'm able to ignore it. I'm able to just let myself be abused like this because I'm in a comfortable situation where I can do that, but other people are not. And this isn't fair. For those of you who remember, I did get a strike on my channel a while ago. That, though, was a tiny bit more legit. Which is another thing, though, to go back to my rant about the Hollywood thing, because the strike I got on my channel was from Toei Animation, from Japan, kind of nowhere near Hollywood, so please stop blaming my city for your problems. The point is, though, that I did get a strike from Toei Animation, but I did find that a little more legit because while it was not one of those let me just paste your whole episode on YouTube, and make money off of it, obviously I don't monetize these things. So I don't know why I'm targeted, because I'm not making money off of it either way, but they can, the companies can. But Toei Animation didn't, because I did play the whole episode, and when we'd react to it, during my Sailor Moon React thing, I'd play the entire video along with it. I'd break it up sometimes not. It would have, the audio would go down sometimes, but if we weren't saying a lot, I'd have the audio come back up, and it was English subtitled. So people could use, if they really wanted to, a very backdoor, really not good quality type of way, they could technically use their videos to watch the episode. So I get why Toei Animation got me. So that one, I'll concede to. I took down all of those videos, and I haven't put them up since. The strike has since been lifted. 6 months have passed since then. I'm not doing that again. So, but I gotta say, Hasbro, in relation to, say, Toei Animation, has been very merciful, but they still do take my money, and it's something, again, I haven't really thought about, but that is the money that should be mine. I'm the one earning that money for them, and yet they're the ones profiting off of me. And it isn't fair. And it's not fair for us to just sit back and do nothing. And one thing, I brought up wife beater mentality. But I think that's what we've gotten to. Not only wife beater mentality. This is a thing in all of America, in all employment agencies. Almost every entry-level position I've ever had, I've been abused to high heaven because in the current economy, the companies can get away with it. They can take away your rights. They can do illegal things to you because they know, and they know you're lucky to have a job at all. And they use that against you. They hold that over your head. They think they can treat you any way you want because you're lucky to have a job. And YouTube is doing exactly the same thing. Because they don't think that the lay content creator is going to go through the effort and money to actually fight for their legal rights. Because we have these rights that we are being denied by YouTube. And that's something I think we need to stop beating around the bush. YouTube, the website, the company, is an illegal organization. We need to fully understand this and wrap our heads around it. We are supporting an illegal, unconstitutional, abusive company. And I don't think we should anymore. I'm going to be frank about this. I know a lot of people get their money from YouTube, and it's easier said than done. But I think it's come to a point where we need to strike. I think it is. I think it's gotten to the point where we can't just sit back and be abused anymore. And I know we're making a lot of noise. But unless we do have that money to throw our lawyers at it, which some do, but not everybody's going to, we need to take the next best step. In that we need to just stop enforcing their illegal activities. We need to stop supporting them. We are giving them money for breaking the law. And I don't think we can anymore. I don't think this is okay. And the reason it's gotten so bad lately is because people are abusing it more and more. The Fine Brothers was just a start, guys. Like I said, there are people who claim music that they didn't write and are trying to get money, not only money off of me, banning my music from certain countries for music they didn't own. I mean, it's like I'm getting charged for Universal for using a Disney song. It's that type of thing. Like if John Williams came to me and said, hey, stop using Indiana Jones, I'd stop. 30 Seconds of Indiana Jones, whatever, fine, I'd stop. Because John Williams, who wrote the music, came to me. But it's not even John Williams, not even Lucasfilms, not even Universal. It's like some guy in his basement was the first one to put in that, yeah, that's my music, and he's the one making money off of it. And it's not even that he's stealing money from me, he's stealing money from the person who wrote the music and claiming it as his own. And he's the one abusing the system, not me. But I'm the one punished because I tried to give a creative work. I tried to express myself creatively, and I am the one that is punished. And we cannot endorse this anymore. So it's more than where's the fair use. It's more than asking the question. We can't just ask the question anymore. We have to walk away until we get an answer. And again, I know it's easier said than done for a lot of people. And a lot of you are probably thinking, well, where can we go? First thing that comes to mind is Dailymotion. And I know they don't have the opportunity to make money like YouTube does, at least not that I know of. Then I point to Patreon. Because, Patreon is a lot of work, it's a lot of pressure. But, honestly, for me, I've certainly probably been able to make more money off of that than I ever could. Off of YouTube. I mean, I'd probably get 5 cents if I actually had monetized any of my videos. I don't get that many views. I'm sorry, I'm Silver Spoon over here, but I mean compared to like Josh or Maddie or Nostalgia Critic obviously makes heaps of amounts more views than I do. He can actually make decent money off of it. I can't. But I can off of Patreon. I point you to Dailymotion and Patreon. I think they're good alternatives. I really do. And I'm just sick of supporting an illegal company. I realize now I've ranted for over 15 minutes, and even though the strike is off of my channel, I'm sure you guys are sick of listening to me, but I think we're done. And I don't think we should do this anymore. I'm Sweetie Bloom, and where's the fair use?